Hold on. God darn Skype.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, live? Wow, that was quick.
Yep. Hey, what's up, everybody? Banakasai here, and I am hosting the FotM 6 discussion Q&A live stream thing. And so, obviously, I have Thatch Mac and Toa Kirminakoto joining us.
Hello.
Hello, Anthony Nguyen, Bioman Savage. Landon Gardner was not first. Hello, Biomaster. Hello, Andrew Peterson.
We got a lot of peeps on here so far.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm getting Kasai to host a live stream because my internet sucks. So.
And Thatch has had poor experiences in the past with live streaming. So.
So now we actually are on a stream where you can talk about FotM.
Yep.
Yep. FotM 6. So if you guys have any questions, ask them. I don't know how we should start it. I don't know if you have any ideas to say.
So this little B movie came out recently.
Little B movie.
It's called FotM 6.
Independent film.
Yeah. Little indie film. Yeah, called FotM 6. Kasai, what did Camilio use for his blood milk or soap?
Camilio does not use anything for his blood. His body generates his blood, and it's called blood. So.
If you really want to know, though, it was Elmer's glue.
A lot of glue.
A lot of glue, yep.
Hey, Thatch, I wanted to tell you this real quick. I don't know if Tom was on the stream, but my sister, I was outside earlier, and she came outside the box. It's a Halo 5, looks like a lunchbox. I don't know if you want it or not.
Well, I don't think I need any lunch boxes right now, but
you can if you want to put like pieces in there, it's really small inside, but you can get like a lot of crap in there. I'll send you pictures soon, but I was like, oh.
Auto Talker said, hey Kasai, Thatch, and anyone else that might be there. So it's just me, Thatch, and Toa Kirminakoto.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I like how you say the full name.
I might try to go to Bedford, Virginia, or maybe be a little close, but if you don't live very close, it's a little too late for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there more endings of Camilio's fight with the Cataclysmi?
Well, I don't know about a Cataclysm, but I do know, it sounds like some sort of octopus. But I do know that there were a couple different ideas I had for how Camilio's fight with the Cataclysm went. By the way, full-on spoilers. If you have not seen, hey Storm Syrup.
Yeah, it should be. Should be obvious that this is going to be a spoiler-filled stream.
Yeah. If you have not seen FotM 6, run away. Do not watch this. Anyway, so how many different endings were there? There were a ton. There was one ending where Camilio was going to die, and everyone was going to think, and then it was going to go exactly like how it did, but instead of Richter igniting his energy sword, Camilio was just going to get up and be like, oh, that was dramatic, right? Holy moly. And he was going to lift up his arm, and the Infinity Gauntlet would appear, and then the Reality Gem would be glowing, and it'd be revealed that the whole thing was just deployed by the Reality Gem. But I decided against that because that would mean that the fight never happened, and it would ruin the emotional weight, and it would just kind of felt like it would make the fight feel sort of unimpactful, and that is the exact opposite of what I wanted for the Cataclysm fight. I wanted it to feel very impactful. So yeah, there was that ending. There was an ending where it ate the universe. But right before we talked compared going back in time, like I was literally going to show the whole Earth like explode or whatever. But I was like, that's too much because I really got his whole thing and people get confused. And that was one of them. There was a few of them involving a fair that I can't get into because they have spoilers for other episodes. And yeah, there was a whole different variety of weapons he was going to use in that fight. He was going to use the Lasso of Truth at some point. He was going to use a couple of the masks from like Bionicle. There was a couple. He was going to use a Tron energy disc, light disc, but I just didn't have the time, or I couldn't make them, or I found other weapons that were better. So, yeah.
Burning. The hell was that?
That was my stepmom honking to know that there's groceries to bring in, but I'm just going to save for questions.
Burning Skull Guy asked, when will FotM 7 come out? You just got an hour and a half long video yesterday. Can you be satisfied, please? Jesus.
Yeah. No, there's no release date from something. I have barely started working on it. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm preparing for Brick Fair.
Aquatic said, have any of you guys seen Maniac series? If so, who do you think would win, the Cataclysm or God/Vestal series? Cataclysm, because
I've not seen it. I don't know what a Vestal Zaries is. It kind of sounds like a name of a planet in No Man's Sky, or like in
kind of sounds like
Destiny.
the name of an edgelord.
It sounds like a Destiny villain. That's what it sounds like, a Destiny villain.
Yeah.
Wait. So I don't know what that is.
Cataclysm would win because the Cataclysm literally eats universes.
Omnitrix was pure gold. Thank you, Lego Lover. I put so much effort into the Omnitrix scene. It was ridiculous. The effects and the stuff. It was so hard. That was also later in the game. I added the Omnitrix as because I had a couple different weapons for the last weapon that I was going to use. I was going to use the Ultimate Nullifier from the Marvel Comics, but that thing is weird, so I decided against that. I was gonna make it be something stupid like a Mario mushroom or a Pokeball. Oh, he was gonna throw a Pokeball at the Cataclysm. It was just gonna bounce off and nothing would happen. But I cut all that out and I went with the Omnitrix because I heard that guitar cover of the Ben 10 theme and I was like, yes! I heard that cover of it, so I was like, all right, I need it. So I got the idea and I just needed to put it in. I love that. I saw that before. How did the Cataclysm, or it's Cataclysm is a word. It's like an actual word. It's kind of made up name of a word in the dictionary. How did the Cataclysm push community to different worlds? Well, it's got power over reality. It can transport. It can go to different dimensions. It can eat dimensions. So it's easy for it to just poke him. It literally just flicks him and send him to all different worlds. It's not even a problem for it. So yeah, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Same way it transforms to different dimensions. So there'll be any Emilipori in Brick Fair besides Satchmoney and Noretta? Yes, Tokoto, and that's it. That's the old one.
Yep.
So since Prof is not actual Prof, does that mean that the guy who's seen the specials in Prof is? Yep. So Professor Gabriel Eon in the birthday special, in the Christmas special, and in the double date short is clone. He's the clone Prof. He's the evil one.
And in Chronicles of Darkness episode 12.
Yeah, and Chronicles, he's a clone in all those. That is a clone Prof. Did I miss any questions?
I don't think
what
so.
happened to Richter? Richter, we don't know. It's left vague on purpose. We don't know what happened to him. We don't really know what happened to the Cataclysm. Things are left vague on purpose. Mr. Wolf, you should watch the video if you have not seen it. You'll be very confused.
Hey, Richard's right here. Grab some.
You should probably, I don't know if it's the spoiler discussion, I guess, just in case. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
I'm just going to leave it.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty obvious going into it. It's like, yeah, we're going to talk about spoilers, obviously.
Yeah. Would the Cataclysm be immune to reality or time being rewritten to remove her?
Yeah, so the Cataclysm has the ability to mess with reality. So if someone were able to do that, it would be basically as powerful as the Cataclysm. So it would be like an immovable object meeting an unstoppable force. It would be a stalemate.
Yeah. Doesn't the Cataclysm kind of exist outside reality too?
I don't. Well, that goes into spoilers about it. I can't get into that right now. But it kind of exists on its own. It's almost like it's its own thing. Hey, Dad, thank you for putting the Master Sword in the video. Huge legends of that made me so happy. Yeah, man, I went on camping for a couple weeks a couple years ago, and I just played Ocarina of Time, the remake on the 3DS, which, by the way, is amazing. It looks beautiful. And I love that game so much. And I love the Master Sword, and I love the Hylian Shield, too. I think the design jobs, I had to put it in. I just thought it'd be so cool. And if you notice, Moxter, he cuts the Cataclysm's blast in half by doing the magic spin attack. He goes, hi-ya, and he cuts it in half as a reference to that. And the idea there is that magic is able to, it's so powerful. I mean, it's the Master Sword, for goodness sake. It's got magic and it's frequency, so it's able to slice the blast.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing about
gold like set? Is it from another universe with powers of the light?
That's just answering questions. It's his stream.
Oh, are you talking about Spectrum? Spectrum is a new character, brand new. I can confirm that he is not an extra dimensional being. I can say that much, but I can't talk much about him. But I can say that he does have some crazy powers you don't understand, and he's got he looks at the bigger picture, and he's a threat that is on a higher level than the Room City guys have ever faced. He's definitely like way above anything they've got mixed up with. They're getting mixed with some way higher powers I'm not prepared for. And Roram is the guy who works with.
Yeah.
I like the Adventure Time reference, and thank you. I freaking was so happy I was able to pull that off before.
That sword is amazing.
Yeah, I was tempted. I was tempted to have it break in half and then have the demon come out, but I was like, that'd be too silly. But
Oh my god!
but I was tempted about that. Who would you choose, Ghosty or Infinite? I don't know what that means. So the Cataclysm is Camilleo's sister. What?
What? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, we see his sister in the flashbacks. We see Froga. I mean, her name is said. It's Froga, and it's who he sees in his flashbacks and everything. In FotM 5, we hear her talk, and it's very obvious that it's not the Cataclysm.
Yeah. Different voice actress entirely.
Sorry, Camilio could be completely made out of transform parts because of the Infinity Stone. Which one would it be? Well, I don't know what that
I
means.
have no idea.
I was watching Camilio Infinity Gauntlet lightsaber and Cap Shield. Part of me was waiting for him to go Super Saiyan. Yeah, that I'm not a weeaboo. Sorry. I was tempted to have. There was this big one of the, I don't know what it's called. There's a big edgy enemy sword you can get on cheap. I was tempted to put that in, but I was like, that's too weak. I'm not good at that kind of stuff. I don't want to ruin it.
Bailey Larson asked, what is the light system and how does it work? You would want to ask Renzo that because he made it up.
Yep, you watched Biorama.
It's explained pretty much in Biorama also.
So just watch Biorama and you'll get the gist of it. It's been used in HL and FotM and Tales of Home, but Renzo made it.
But I will say that FotM it will get into the light system later on when we hear more about Spectrum. But I can say that Roram's powers and Roram's invisibility powers and Spectrum's crazy light powers are completely reliant on light system control.
Eclipse the Darkling asked, whose arm was that at the end of FotM 6? Go watch the original Kasai Camilio crossover Christmas special.
Yeah, the one from 2 years ago, the first Christmas special. FotM a Christmas special and Cataclysm special, you'll figure it out. How did Steve fuse with Etheria? Steve didn't fuse with Etheria, the watch, and there's a continuity error. I can get the confusion because we see Camilio at the end and he still has the watch on.
Yep.
But what's supposed to happen is that the watch leaves Camilio and attaches to Steve, and Steve gets the Paladin armor and becomes Paladin. And I know it's a continuity error. You see Camilio with the watch at the end, he's probably not supposed to have it. The thing was, I filmed that scene months before I filmed the Steve part of that scene, so I couldn't replicate the way that the blood was laid out, and at that point I wouldn't and thought that it was just a mistake on my part that he still had it. But the idea is the watch is supposed to come off Camilio, and that's why we see it on Steve's waist. Is that Steve becomes Paladin, like how Camilio's Paladin.
Yeah.
Steve is a predicted multiverse. Yeah, he was for like 15 minutes. I love that one. I love when the fairy's like, we'll kill it, and he's like, eh. I thought that was adorable. Yeah, that was very fun.
I need a question on my phone.
That lime green character with the Enika head base, that's his, what? Otto the Taco said that lime green character with the Enika head base, that's his sister.
Yeah, that's his sister. She's supposed to have a painted head. I just haven't been able to get into contact with Mulda about that.
Did she make a physical appearance?
She did in FotM 5. We see her.
Oh, weird. I don't remember that.
We see her even in FotM 6, dude. We see her for like a second.
Huh.
It's real brief, though. I can understand how you missed that. Feel like Rangus. Okay, Rangus is. Hey, Rangus, how you doing, my guy? Oi. Richter got more. I don't know what that word is. Psychotic? What is psychotic?
I think he meant psychotic.
Oh,
Just
wow.
completely botched the spelling
I've never seen
entirely.
a word more misspelled before than
Yeah,
that.
I've never seen a word more botched.
Yeah, he's always been crazy. And I really love the way we see Richter's powers in this because we never see him do it before because he never gets hurt before. In all the other appearances he makes, he never gets his arm cut off. He never gets hurt. He's he's fine. So then in this episode, we finally see him actually get hurt, and that's why we see powers. And I really like the way the powers turned out. Regular shapeshifter gets hard to absorb things. He cannot shapeshift. It's just he is able to absorb matter and use it to reconfigure his own body.
Yeah.
Cool. So then anyone with Watch a Paladin, yeah, of course. The watch is what controls the armor. If you have the watch, you're a paladin. There's only one watch, but the watch is what defines you as a paladin. We see in the episode, the watch gives you the armor. The watch is entirely whoever has the watch is technically paladin. Great. He'd be part of mini balls. Okay, we're talking about Arrowverse.
There's like a whole separate freaking conversation going on in the chat. I have no idea. I was so happy when Camilio used the Omnitrix and the theme started to play. Ben 10 was one of my favorite cartoons when I was a kid, and still. Also, who would win in a fight, the Cataclysm or Alien X? Probably the Cataclysm.
That's a tough one. Alien X is really powerful, but what I've noticed with Alien, and there was a moment in Ben 10 Omniverse. This is about to get real nerdy. Get ready, boys.
Oh boy.
You guys are gonna see how much of a Ben 10 nerd I am. But there's a moment in Ben 10 Omniverse where the whole universe gets deleted and the whole thing disappears, but Alien X still remains, and he's still existing outside of the universe. So I believe that if that happened, it would be a stalemate between the two of them. Because Alien X clearly exists in its own league. Was Camilla saying he would get the Cataclysm from a Christmas gift foreshadowing? Yeah, you could consider it foreshadowing, absolutely. I love that line because if you notice, Camilla was way funnier in this episode because most of his lines were improvised. That line with the Christmas gift was completely improvised, but I love it. He's like, I'm pretty sure Master decided to put Gemini. I love that line a lot.
Well,
why did Camilla wear
kind
pants?
of foreshadowing.
Why do you wear pants, buddy? He wears pants for the same reason you do.
Yep.
So Camilla was 5 when he got the watch. That is correct. Camilla was created 5 years before he got the watch. Also, I like.
No,
sorry, so you can go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna read that same comment.
Okay. Also, I like his voice in Farm 6, although I like the one in Farm 3 better, the one after Kasai left. Well, his voice is the same voice, so.
Yeah. He just has, doesn't he just have, a filter on his voice in Farm 3?
He loses it midway through.
Yeah, so he's got sometimes a filter. I believe that the Cataclysm is the most overpowered construction character ever made. Well, I mean, it's supposed to be like a force of nature almost.
Sure,
so.
I am absolutely sure that there is somebody out there who created some sort of character that is able to destroy all of fiction and create. I'm sure there's somebody who
probably Maniamac. Probably Maniamac.
But the reason the Cataclysm is designed to be so powerful is because a lot of people, there's a big issue with people. They'll be like, so it seems the belief on overpowered characters is either you're like, yeah, overpowered characters are great, or you're like, never ever have an overpowered character. My point of view is it's totally fine to have an overpowered villain because they're the bad guy. The whole point is to see the hero defeat the bad guy. So to make them super powerful, it just makes that struggle more impactful. So then when they do defeat the bad guy, it's that much more satisfying. That's why in Infinity War, Thanos is extremely overpowered in Infinity War. He gets the Infinity Gauntlet and he's so OP, dude. He's ridiculously overpowered because when they defeat him, it'll be that much more satisfying. So that's why the Cataclysm is designed the way it is. I will never make a hero that is going to just be super overpowerful and everything, because then there's no stake. There's no struggle there. You know what I mean? There's no... if there's never a struggle, then there's no reason to watch it. It's not very entertaining. But just like Thanos, where he's super overpowered, the Cataclysm is designed to be overpowered so that so that when they do defeat it, at that moment, it's going to be really triumphant and really satisfying. Just so that's the idea behind that. I actually got the idea from the Cataclysm from things like Thanos and characters like that in the Marvel Comics, because Marvel Comics has got a ton of ridiculously overpowered villains, but it's also got some of the best endings ever in like the comic crossovers and stuff.
Yeah.
I missed a ton of questions because I talked a ton. If the other things to mention, then how come, here we go, I knew this question's going to come up. How come Chronicles of Darkness, why didn't Kasai see him when he fought Jovix? The middle dimension is massive. The odds that Jovix opens a portal right where Prof lands is ridiculously small. It's the same odds as if there's some guy in the middle of the ocean, and you just get in a plane and you drop in. The odds of you landing where that dude is are incredibly minimal. It's so big that it would be pretty convenient for Kasai to land right where Prof is.
Yeah.
It's absolutely massive. They're probably thousands of miles apart from each other.
I'd also like to note, I had no idea that Prof was going to be in the nil dimension when I made that episode. So if I had known, I would have included, like, very quietly the music that was playing on the radio in the background, but I didn't know, so.
Rip.
More Arrowverse stuff.
Yeah, Chameleon's is upgrade in episode 5.5 because episode 5.5 takes place after episode 6.
Yeah.
Thatch, when Prof shot the magnet thing, you should have made one of the studs blue. That's actually a really good idea. Made one of them for like magnets, one of them red and one of them blue. That would have been a cool idea. I completely agree. If I would have saw that comic before I made the video, I would have absolutely made it blue. Hypothetically, if Steve managed to defeat the Cataclysm, would he become the next Paladin? He was already the next Paladin. I mean, if once you get the watch, you are Paladin. So he was already a Paladin. He didn't need to defeat the Cataclysm. If Chameleon would have stayed dead, then Steve would have remained Paladin, and he would have just been Paladin after that. Which arguably he probably would have been a more powerful Paladin than Chameleon because Steve was like invulnerable and stuff and could shapeshift and everything.
Yeah.
So.
Vesimox asked, when did you finish the script for FotM 6?
1 year ago.
That means Kasai is a paladin.
Around August.
He was a paladin.
The end of August last year.
So yeah.
I'll point that out.
Hey Thatch, Aiden wants to point something out.
What's up, Aiden?
That means Kasai is also a veteran paladin, because he was a paladin. Because he had the watch.
No, because the armor never came onto him. If the armor would have came onto him, then that means a fairy would have accepted him as paladin. He would have been paladin, but clearly a fairy did not put the armor on him, and Camilio still had it.
Oh, so, really? Have you seen Casilio?
Yeah. I have seen Casilio, and he's not canon as much as I want him to be canon.
He is canon.
Let me see.
Dang.
Can you do
a how to on to build Steve human thing? I will probably do a less build on Steve, yeah.
Is robot boxing a thing in the multiverse or just the spaceverse?
I'm sure. I mean, the multiverse is infinite, so I'm sure there's different universes with robot boxing.
I mean, there's probably like a straight up Real Steel movie universe.
There's probably a universe that's just Real Steel probably exists in the multiverse somewhere. And the idea with the robot boxing is it's like it was a sport that was popular, like boxing was popular in like the 40s and like way back in the day. It's like that. So like way back in Prof when he was younger. It was popular, but nobody cares about it anymore. That was the idea.
Yeah.
That was my favorite scene.
How many relics did Camilio have? Can you tell me what kind of relics did he have?
He
had all the ones that we saw him
and Real Steel. It's like my two favorite things from the series.
Thatch, I thought that Richter was a friend of Camilio when they were younger. That's how he knew so much
He's so
about
weird.
He's not a friend of Camilio because Richter is way older than Camilio. That would have meant 10-year-old Camilio was hanging out with like a 25-year-old Richter, and that would have been really weird.
Yeah, he was also
Richter's like 40.
created by the Cataclysm. So.
Yeah, and Richter was created by the Cataclysm. We know that. Didn't know FotM 6 was out. Ducky4Yo Production, stop watching the video. There's massive spoilers. Go watch it.
How did you not know FotM 6 was out?
Stop watching right now, my guy. Go watch.
Get out of here and go watch the video, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
This is fun, though. I haven't fun answering these questions because I'm getting a lot of them.
Well, yeah, because it's finally an actual FotM stream and not ruining every COD stream.
So the watch is like the race from Green Lantern, kind of thing. I don't know much about Green Lantern. Thatch, is it true? Are you the pretty boy of the Hapori? According to Kasai, I am.
Yes, that's true. He's the pretty boy of the Hapori.
Watch.
Ants.
Gone. I got ants.
Let me see if we missed any comments, questions.
Clearly they watched Jack Sims because they're saying ants.
Ants was its own thing before that.
Oh, well, Jack Sims made it better.
Is there a Bionicle zombie universe?
Probably.
Probably. I mean, there's infinite universes for any variable, so I mean, I'm guessing there's probably one.
It's probably a zombie universe of like frickin' the Teletubby universe.
There's probably a universe in Bionicle of only Rhea body pillows, just running around.
Oh God, no.
The Rhea fanboy universe.
I think people are just wanting me to canonize universes now. I think that's what people want.
Friggin', there's just
guys,
like the
there are
fanboy
infinite
universe.
So I don't know. I mean, I'm not. This is a Greg Barchi scenario. People are just asking me to canonize stuff. There probably is. I mean, I mean, there's infinite. So I mean, most likely, if it's a thing, it probably exists as a universe.
Like Renzo so desperately wants to see a universe of just dog people, for some reason.
Ew.
Yeah,
Are you hurry?
That's
Yeah.
weird, dude. Okay, I gotta go on Eastman Animation for my project. Good luck on that. I wanted to do Rick Fair. Hope to see you there. Hope to see you there too. P.S. I'm on my other account. My main is Native. Okay. I know this isn't farm related, but did you guys see that? Yeah, we did. It was pretty neat. How many dimensions did Hero Cosmic Cataclysm punched in? Good question. I'm gonna name off all the dimensions he went by. So
hang on. I'm gonna turn you up. Alright, no, I can't.
One,
Here, hold on.
2, 3, 4, 5. I believe there's 5, maybe 6. That we see. And he goes by the he flies by the Tron universe real quick. It's really blurry. You really can't see it. He goes by Mario. You can hear the you can hear that for a second. He goes by Godzilla. He goes what else? He goes by I think Avatar, the Avatar world. And then he goes by Tomorrowland.
Is that so? The Avatar one's the one with like the people lined up or whatever?
The Avatar one is one where he falls in the water.
Oh, okay. Because I swear there was one where there's like a bunch of people lined up or something.
I don't remember that. Maybe I accidentally included one like that. That you may have the Infinity Gauntlet. Look up the Micro Fighters Infinity Gauntlet on Lego.com, and it's pretty much identical. No, also, I love this whole Metsu got some screen time again. So they just got some comments. Yeah, I need to bring them back. They always just kind of come back for the finale.
Yeah, that's just better than this.
That's like their thing. They come back and they're like, yeah, they're gonna fight the main villain, and they freaking get whooped.
Does that count?
Oh, they try, I guess.
Yeah, they should try. It's nice to see them. I always want to keep them. Keep them involved.
I'm glad, as I was worried that you weren't gonna have any, plans for them, because I haven't heard about them in such a long time. So I was like, oh.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't want to forget about them. I want to keep them around.
Okay.
They're
He's
going to
talking
stay
about
in
the whole like
series.
him going through all thing, where like with Rangus.
Go ahead. Aiden wants to say something.
All right.
Okay, so during the episode when Camilo gets flicked through like the universes and he meets up with Rangus, I thought he was gonna continue the fight with the Cataclysm while he was drunk. But then I realized he's underaged, so.
That would have been funny, yeah. That was the joke. I love the idea that Camilo is so beat up that he's just like, sure, I'll take a drink. But I will say, I want to clarify on that. Nobody said this, but someone will. They'll be like, well, that's a real coincidence that he lands in the Spaceverse. Well, the idea is that the Cataclysm was trying to flip him back into the universe he came from, which was Croft's lab, but it missed the mark a little bit, so he flew to all Mortis and smacked into it. But that was the concept.
Yeah.
I saw Mario Universe. Yep. Does the quantum realm exist in the multiverse? Well, the MCU exists in the multiverse. That's canon because the Infinity Gauntlet exists.
Yeah.
So that means that the quantum realm has to exist. Where was Humongous Ecclesiametrix? That Humongous figure is gross, so I did not want to use it. Thank you.
Yes, it is very.
You should make like a better like Humongous mock
dude,
if you ever
I've
want to
seen
use them.
this amazing Humongous mock in the message boards. That would look really cool.
Nice. Yeah, you should definitely if you ever want to use them, make a Humongous mock.
Yeah, Camilo shapeshifts into Oni. I don't know who Oni is. Camilo versus Thanos. Thanos would just whoop the arena. It would basically be like Star-Lord versus Thanos. Yeah.
Wait,
Yep.
Thatch.
What's up, Hokoto?
What was the previous question before the one you just said right now?
If Camilo can shapeshift into Oni, I don't know who Oni is.
Stupid. It's a Ninjago villain. The Ninja villains. No, he's not going to shapeshift into a friggin' Oni. It's just stupid.
If Camilo took his first from RBB, he would be screwed. I don't watch RBB. Josh Brolin versus Thatch Mac. Josh Brolin whooped me, dude. I'm a skinny 16-year-old boy, and he's a big, rock freaking old guy. So
Yeah.
that would not work out. Whoop me.
He's a big tough guy.
He would just look at him and he'd run away. I would.
No, he'd probably want an autograph.
Yeah, good point. I'd be too
Will there be
threatened.
a clip of the old Paladin, or at least a video when you first got to watch? Maybe. I will say that there are a couple old Paladin designs. I don't know if they're I can't say if they're going to show up or not, because some ideas I've designed that never show up. There was a ghosty Paladin that never was going to show up. Sometimes I just make things that don't happen. Oh man, I missed it. You didn't miss it, my guy. It's still going. Oh man, freaking! His questions are. You guys are asking some good questions.
Let me see. And when the guy asked about RVB, he was talking about Red versus Blue.
Yeah, I know.
What if there's a fandom universe where all the fandoms manifest as live things and has all the fandoms included, the Disturban ones. Disturban.
My guy Bailey, I think you should try autocorrect. I think that was
Yeah, just turn on autocorrect, dude.
I don't know, man. I've never thought about that. It's a really unique idea. You should write a book about it.
Write a fan fiction. How did Camelio?
Write fan fiction about fan fiction.
How did Camelio lost the yellow arm?
How did he lose the yellow arm? I'm not sure how he lost the yellow arm. He just did somewhere. Something happened. There must have been some sort of scuffle that him and Renzo got into. We don't know. It's left vague.
The yellow arm's pretty cool.
Anything could happen, my guy. Okay, here's a good one. This guy's been waiting. He's like, okay, so wait. When Camilo got his new upgrade, before he could talk, and when he got his arm cut off, he couldn't write. So how did he change from that version if he couldn't? What? Oh, are you talking about OG Camilo turning into the one that we see in FotM 4? Yeah. So the idea behind that is that Camilo just is that armor is just if you look at it, it's really similar to the armor he has. So the idea is that he just modified it himself. He just took apart basically.
He just lost some armor pieces and like changed some things around.
He took off some of the armor. It was just him messing with it. Who is that Spectre guy? Spectrum, you will find out later. How long do people start making Paladin characters? Not soon. I'm guessing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now that it's been really confirmed that there are other Paladins.
Yeah.
Probably going to happen pretty soon.
There's been a lot of other Paladins.
Wait,
There's been, hundreds.
No, wait, never mind.
That's cool, though. I love the fact that Steve was a Paladin. Someone's got to tell Camilo about that.
What'd you say?
Someone's got to tell Camilo about that, because he'd flip out.
Yeah, he would flip out. He probably does know. He probably got told right after by Prof or somebody. Renzo should have told him, man. That would have been awesome. But yeah, I'm really proud of the way the design turned out. Who's the dumbest in FotM 6? I don't know. Probably Mattel, because he got stuck in the dishwasher.
I don't know. I feel like Strack is kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Strack is dumb. He's really smart. He's super freaking...
But he's also, really stubborn and, doesn't listen to anyone.
But that's not dumb. That's not intelligence. That's just being a butthole. Dumb is, an idiot. Strack is an idiot. I mean,
well, then probably... Well, if we're just going straight up stupid, then probably Renzo.
Wow.
Mattel was pretty stupid.
That's true. Mattel probably...
Lori Kennedy asked that. I've already answered this. We don't know. It's left vague on purpose.
Yeah. He old but he's smart. What?
He old but he's smart.
Aiden gets it, but I don't understand this language.
Aiden speaks this language every day.
Oh, I just want to...
Renzo is the dumb one. Wow.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, the scene when the lights go out and Richter comes in is probably my favorite scene, because, first of all, Real Steel is my favorite movie, so it was amazing to see that fight.
Freaking thank you. I love Real Steel. It's so underrated, isn't it? It's great.
And then Richter is the best character ever, because he's a little psychopathic old man that I would not want to get in his van.
The psychopathic old man.
Yeah, Real Steel's pretty great. I think it's probably, my third favorite non-franchise movie.
Yeah,
non-Marvel.
I quite like it.
Just not part of a franchise in general, because Lord of the Rings would be up there, too.
Still curious about what happened to the. Oh yeah, well we see that they pretty much get taken out in FotM 3.
Oh
So like then we hear in 2.5 that we hear that they haven't heard anything about them. It's like we have not seen them at all, and I think Liwa Mata suspects that means that they're definitely up to something, but we don't know for sure. It's all like vague. So there's the possibility that they are up to something or that they're just gone. Because again, Liwa Mata says he hasn't seen anything.
I was gonna have.
Renzo. Renzo's great.
Yeah, Renzo's awesome. But I was gonna have some Ouya plans in season 3 of Tales of Home, but obviously that was canceled. So.
Yeah. How will Camellia look like in Legacy of Light, or will he time travel 20 years later? I don't know.
Legacy of Light is not 20 years later. I don't know why everyone thinks this.
Yes, the robot was inspired by the robots from Real Steel. I want to do my own sort of style with that. Which is why I gave Prof. I thought it'd be really cool to give Prof the red gauntlets and then give the robot red gauntlets so that you can see the connection, and then give them both the eyepiece so it's pretty obvious in your head that they're connected somehow. I really wanted to. And I love the imagery. I love Prof's look when he's got the red things and he's got the eyepiece. He looks like a freaking VR player, and it's awesome.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, I love that a lot.
My favorite Prof look is when he's not being controlled by someone else. Or he's not stuck in the nil dimension. That's my favorite look.
Yeah, so his normal look?
Was the road? Yeah, okay. Legacy of Hype, Hugh Jackman and Adam, Camellia versus Godzilla. That'd be interesting.
Probably Godzilla would win. I'm pretty sure Godzilla would win.
Camellia would be like, hey, stop shooting lasers.
I don't know. Maybe Camellia would, like, summon in, like, Gypsy Danger and fight him with Gypsy Danger or something like that. Who knows?
I feel like Gypsy Danger would lose.
Legacy of Hype.
Hello, Toageki. Have you seen Ready Player One? Thatch has. I think Okoto has.
Yeah, I saw it. I love the movie. It's one of my favorite movies. That too. Yeah, I thought it was great. Yep.
Shadow boxing. That's the thing from Real Steel. Yeah, we know that. Does Richter have 3 motif going with him aside from episode 2? He's been appearing in episode 3, now in episode 6. Do we have to wait till episode 9 now? Well, auto ask that.
I can't really confirm, but I definitely try to keep my villains in a way where it's you don't see them all the time. You see them for short doses, and you really like them, and they go away, and you see them for like I like making their appearances meaningful by not showing them off all the time, but showing them off.
Is Richter still going to be a straight up villain, or is he going to be like an anti-hero at this point?
You'll see, but he's definitely got his own agenda now.
Okay.
Swampfire transformation was awesome. Thanks so much. I really wanted to. Swampfire has like no good transformations, and I love the original Ben 10 transformations. So I wanted to make. I wanted to give Swampfire a really sweet transformation that was really respectful to old Ben 10 in a way where if you're a Ben 10 fan and you watch that, you'll like, oh my god, it's beat for beat an old Ben 10 transformation.
Yeah, that was great.
What's with the one will be all and all will be one? Well, that's the Cataclysm's thing. That's like the may the force be with you with FotM, pretty much.
Yeah,
it's like
except
the
it's
line.
Evil anonymous, and it's the Cataclysm's like mantra.
Yep.
It was amazing. I liked the final battle with all the players and with all the 80s references. I mean, it wasn't all 80s references, but there were a few.
It wasn't all 80s. It's a mixture, but there are definitely a lot of 80s references.
Yeah.
I love the Thundercat sword. I think the Sword of Omens. I think that looks so cool. I think it's one of the coolest looking swords ever. So I was really happy to fit that in. Ugh. So Prof Eon and Prof Enon, that's a funny name. I like that name. I like that name a lot, actually, Prof Enon.
Prof Enon.
Big one. Have the classic Who's the Real One with the... I will say that I do not like to go with cliches in FotM, so I try to avoid those types of cliches, and I try to take a story element that you've seen a million times and do it in a more unique way, which is why Spectrum is done in a way where I wanted to do a villain that is colorful, because all villains are big, dark, edgy dudes who are the shadow guy, and they got big capes, and they're black and red, and they're black and purple, and they're so they are. So I wanted to do a villain who was rainbow colored, but still just really intimidating. So that's what I try and do. FotM is all about taking classic tropes and doing them in a different way. So that'll probably happen again with the whole clone trope. You'll probably see it done in a more unique way than the cliches.
Let me see. If the Cataclysm can break the Infinity Gauntlet, and then the Avengers could use her to help defeat Thanos so much easier. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she would just like eat that universe.
I don't think she would even care if they asked her to help them. I feel like she'd be like, whatever. I don't feel like her goals are way beyond that.
Yeah.
So Camilio has reused those weapons after the fight with the Cataclysm and being born. Or really, those weapons are gone. If you look, well, it depends on the weapon. So the ones that were directly like transformed into energy, those things are erased from existence. Those things are gone. Things like the Omnitrix and stuff, those are probably still around because those are physically destroyed. But because there's a couple times in the Cataclysm takes a weapon and just turns into a blast. The Cataclysm's erased it from existence. It basically erased it. It never did exist.
But
will exist.
they reset the friggin' timeline, so wouldn't that fight have never happened?
It doesn't matter. The Cataclysm is the rules of the way its powers work. And that's why the physical ones would come back, because they would have never been destroyed. But because the way the Cataclysm does it is they're erased from existence. So they never, from all time, they never existed and never will exist. They're gone. Like they're...
Oh, weird.
It's basically deleted them. So those ones are gone. But there's infinite... And he only does that to a couple of them. But there's infinite versions of those weapons. So if he really wants another one, he can just go to a universe and find it.
I'm sure he'll just regain his collection on his own.
Why didn't the Cataclysm attack the house after time travel? Even if wouldn't she want to eat the universe? That's an interesting idea. The idea behind that is that the Cataclysm knows familiar time travel. So it's pretty obvious. The clone prophet at the end works for the Cataclysm. He says, all be one, will be all. The idea is that the Cataclysms realize that no matter what it does, Camilio will either move it to a universe, Camilio will time travel, he'll find some way to undo it, and it'll basically be stuck in a cycle. The Cataclysm's taking a different approach, and that's why it's replaced its initial plan of being in the universe with a more subtle plan of creating the clone, and it's taking a different approach now. So that's the idea behind that. But again, a lot of this stuff is stuff that will be addressed later. A lot of stuff is left vague on purpose. What if Camilio was in Ready Player One? That'd be amazing. I would have cried. Wait, didn't Camilio already defeat Thanos? He probably just stole it from the Avengers. I don't think. Or he probably shapeshifted into Thanos and went to the Black Earth like, "Hey, peeps, how's it going? I'm gonna take my gauntlet," and then teleported away. So would Camilio find more relics? If Camilio's in a situation where he thinks he needs them, I'm sure he would. What did he use for Camilio's blood? Elmer's blue.
Yep.
Yeah. Dutch Mac.
Hang on.
Oh,
so does the Cataclysm exist beyond the reaches of space and time? Auto asked.
Yes, it does. That is a fact.
Go ahead, Ed.
When you were making right before Prof got not murdered, but put into the nil dimension, how long did it take you to make the little clay thing?
Probably about 30 minutes. I think. I remember. I think I still have it together somewhere. But it didn't take too long. I used a skeleton as a base and then built off of that, so I just wrapped the clay around it.
Oh.
Cool. How would Camilio react in a My Little... Really?
Probably throw up in his mouth.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have a mouth. He would shapeshift into somebody with a mouth so that he could throw up in his mouth.
Yeah. What was the hardest part to animate in FotM 6?
That's a great question. Thank you so much for asking it, Phoenix Mox. That actually is a great question. Hardest part to animate, that's a really good one. A lot of it was really hard. Probably, dang, that's a tough one. Oh, all of it was really hard. I could say all of the Cataclysm fight, but that might be cheating.
I mean, that is a part of the episode.
Yeah, but I want to kind of get more specifics to a specific scene. Probably. Oh shoot.
Was the Ben 10 scene hard?
Probably the parts of Camilio flying around with the portal gun. Those were really hard to animate because I had to keep track of where he was and where the portals were in imagination in my head, and that was tough to do. That or the big long shot of Camilio running and smacking the blast with the Captain America shield.
Yeah, that one was awesome.
Why do you use Captain America's shield? Because it's not worthy. Exactly.
Thor's hammer.
Captain America's hammer, but Camilio would be...
Thor's hammer, not Captain America's hammer.
Oh, sorry. Well, Captain America is worthy, so whatever.
No, he's not. He couldn't lift it.
Yeah, he could. He almost did. He could lift it right now if he wanted to.
He's like
He's
semi-worthy.
more worthy than Thor. Like, Thor's butt compared to Captain America. Captain America is like freaking a saint.
Nah, Thor's great.
In the comic books, Captain America is way worthy though. He's the most worthy guy around. Yeah, I didn't use Thor's hammer because Chameleon was able to pick it up. I was like, yeah, he wasn't able to pick it up, so that'd be dumb.
Is that clone is the Cataclysm or a creation? It's a creation.
It's a creation of the Cataclysm.
Do Renzo, Prof, and Geode remember what happened in the Houseverse in the house?
Yes.
Because they're off
Yes.
in another universe. Does that
So
doesn't abide by the same rules, laws, or is there another reason?
Thanks for asking some good questions, Otto. Yeah, you're basically Otto's asking all the questions that are like, hey, if there's any confusion, I'm gonna ask this question so Thatch can answer it. Yes. So the idea is that time travel only affects the universe it's done in. The only exception is if a character traveled to a universe, like Chameleon did, and then somebody time traveled and that was undone, then they would be sent back to the universe that they came from. But aside from that, nothing that happens, like the time travel didn't affect the Space Force at all. It only affects the universe it's done in. They remain unaffected. They saw everything happen, and I'm pretty sure what would have happened is that if they were watching the little holographic screen and it probably glitched out for a minute and then reset, and Chameleon was right there on the table. But for them, they remember everything. They saw everything. Their universe was unaffected by it, aside from repositioning Chameleon to where he would have been. Yeah. Ooh, that's a big one. That's a big one.
Let me see. How did you manage to film FotM 6, the Christmas, Valentine, Easter, and Double Date episodes at the same time?
By being clinically insane. That's how.
Basically, he was working on FotM 6, and while he would stop, he would take a break. He would work on the other video or whatever, and then just so on and so forth.
Not always, though. There were points when I would be filming the Valentine video or the Easter video, and I would stop it and go right into filming FotM 6. Sometimes it was depending, because my parents were divorced, depending on which house I was at. If it was a house where I wasn't doing anything, I could film a video there.
Yeah.
I need to take a breather here.
Okay, take a break. I'm going to read this question. Will overlapping timeline...
I want to thank Lori Kennedy. FotM 6 is the best one you've made. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Will overlapping timeline memories affect Piruk and Brutaka in more ways besides what we've seen with Spectrum?
Maybe. I don't think the overlapping memories will affect too much, but I think the biggest effect is that Piruk, I think, will have memories of what happened, and there will be memories of people who died having flashes in the thing. They'll have nightmares and stuff about that. But aside from that, it basically affects their moral decisions later on. Because immediately after they travel immediately after Spectrum kills everyone, immediately what Brutaka says is they need to go back in time and stop Spectrum, and that creates a moral divide that will basically address a couple plot holes and stuff, or plot things people might say.
Yeah. In the FotM 6 trailer, why did the house explode?
Because the idea was that the Cataclysm was going to destroy the whole world. Remember I was talking about how I was going to show the world get eaten? I was going to do that. But I decided to cut out Matthias at the end because it just wasn't working. And I heard from a lot of people that they laughed when the house exploded. So I was like, I'm not going to have that in the video. That's not the intention. So I rewrote and changed a few things.
Yeah. What are your plans for the COD universe and the Spaceverse? How will it affect the shows? Well, I mean, a literal planet teleported into a dimension. So, I mean, I don't imagine it's going to affect Renzo too much, but it is going to be, at the universe at large, a big political thing, and, there's going to be, like, conspiracy theories and stuff like that. Whereas in Legacy of Light, there's going to be, the politics involved with dealing with this galactic government and, all that, so. Didn't Thatch come up with the design for Renzo for Geode? Yeah, Thatch built Geode.
Yep.
How much deleted footage is there?
I'm going to venture to say 15 minutes.
You should do a compilation of all that.
I might, but I don't know. I kind of want to work on more important things right
How long do you plan for every FotM episode to be from here on after the 1.5 hour one?
No longer than 50 minutes.
Bailey Larson asked, will the GCU take over the planet? I'm going to confirm no, because like with the fairy planet, they are an independent government. The GCU is going to respect the boundaries of this random planet that came from nowhere. So, were some of those relics used from Shapeways? If so, did you get them from just for FotM 6? Also, wasn't Camilo using a 3D printed mask when his eye was exposed?
Yes, so I believe one of them. Only one of them was from Shapeways. The only one from Shapeways was the Sword of Omens from Thundercats. All the other ones, I took the model. I took models of cosplay weapons and stuff from this website called Thingiverse. I took those and I shrunk them down at my school and printed them out at my school. But the only one from Shapeways is the Thundercat sword. And Ankylo's head is a 3D printed head that I modeled and printed out.
Yeah, it's not, that head isn't on Shapeways.
It's on Shapeways.
How I win auto, wait, that seems like I'm an 8. What? Okay. If the Cataclysm destroys the Room City universe, does she, you mean, destroy the actual people in that? Yes, the universe just stops existing.
Yep. Somebody said, were some of those, oh yeah, you already asked that.
Yeah.
What was your favorite scene you made from FotM 6? I mean, I've got a lot of favorite scenes, so I can say 3 that I like equally. I don't have a favorite. The Ben 10 scene, just because I'm a huge Ben 10 nerd, so watching that made me squeal. I'm a huge fan of it, so I'm such a big Ben 10 fan that to see that made me so happy, and then to see the Ben 10 figures used again made me really happy.
Yeah.
I like after that, I like the scene where Camilo dies, which happens like right afterwards. So that was nice. I think that was very. I love Otto. He did an amazing job with props, lines, and how he loses it on Renzo. That is still one of the most darkest moments of the episode, I think. To see Prop, this patient, chill guy, lose it is really shocking. And then the Spectrum scene, just because I think visually it's the best looking scene of the episode.
Yeah. Bailey Larson asked, what if Camilo met Donald Trump, and what if he was in the Spaceverse?
I don't know, man. I don't know what Camilo's political views are, but I'm sure he would be like, you're a weird human fleshy guy.
Probably tell him to stop being a butt.
So since Cam seemingly never took the night form, when we see that form again, actually, we will see. We're going to see a slightly different version. We're going to see a slightly different form. You'll see.
Yeah.
I used Simplify. I think it's Simplify 3D. It's been months. Yeah, I think Simplify 3D. I think that's what it's called, but I might be mistaken.
Is there going to be a Zaltorius mock? Yes.
Yes. There's one at Brick Fair.
Yeah, there will be one.
What is your Ben 10 alien? My favorite is Accelerate. Accelerate is a boss. My favorite is E-Blast. Oh my god.
You guys are seeing freaking comments that I can't see. That's weird.
Wait. Will the Hero Factory Apocalypse Universe return? Nope. So Richter. So Richter is a Skrull, right? No.
No. Richter just touches things and
he like
regenerates his body based off of what he's touching.
Yeah. Why don't Dash's 3D printed head in his own show yet? Because I prefer the mold that painted head to the 3D printed one, and I made the 3D printed one. I'm just not very happy with the 3D printed one. I don't think I did a good job with it. I prefer the mold that one. Swampfire is great. Yeah, Swampfire is second favorite easily. Well, the inspiration for Richter's new forms, probably. It's hard to say, but I can say that I take a lot of inspiration from the idea of him regenerating in a way that is not what's the word? When things are equal on both sides, symmetrical. I want to be very patchwork. I want to look like a patchwork character. So I always try and make him look like that. And try and have him have that idea of him being just patchwork.
That's all for the questions so far. Where did the
Ooh, that's a
inspiration
lot of
for
questions.
Professor Eon come from in the first place? I mean, it's kind of obvious.
Pretty obvious. Doc Brown.
I don't know if this would work on the Cataclysm, but what if Camilio snapped his fingers with the Infinity Gauntlet and made the Cataclysm disappear? I'm not sure if this would work.
Oh, we talked about this. So two things. So we see the Infinity Gauntlet work in the Star Wars universe, which means that this version of Infinity Gauntlet probably works in other universes. That, or for some reason, the Infinity Gauntlet exists in that Star Wars universe. It's up for debate, and we don't even know if that's. It could arguably, you could say that might not even be the same Infinity Gauntlet Camilio uses in FotM 6. So we don't even know if the Infinity Gauntlet would have worked outside of its universe for a fact. That it might not have even worked. Second, I've talked about this with Kasai, and if Camilio would have tried to snap his fingers to delete the Cataclysm, it would not have worked because the Cataclysm is just that. It's like if you used an infinity. It's almost like the Cataclysm would be snapping its fingers at the same time, be undoing the action as you're doing it.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Plus, technically, you can't even snap your fingers in an Infinity Gauntlet. So
yeah. What if Camilio went to a universe Huaremaning bit of destroyed universes and universal rejects and is filled with Pecky stealing zombies?
Huh.
I have no idea.
Okay.
How long would Camilio last in Fortnite, coming from someone who doesn't play Fortnite?
I don't like Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite, so probably not very, very long. I don't even think he would play it. I think he'd be disgusted. He'd probably play something like Galaga.
So can the clone's uncanny name be I think you meant uncanon. Be
Canon name?
Prof
Canon name?
Enon.
His name is not Prof Enon, but I mean, you can call him that if you want. I think it's a funny name.
Also, Camilio doesn't even know how to use the Infinity Gauntlets.
Yeah, arguably, I mean, even when we see him, use it in FotM 4, he clearly has no idea what the hell he's doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like
yeah.
that difficult to use. You know, like people use it all the time in the comics, but. Let me see. Does Richter still have the Akar upgrades, or is he back to normal?
So I'm not sure. People seem to really like the Akar upgrade. People seem to think it looks cooler than the other one. So I'm probably going to find a way to make him have it.
Yeah, friggin' Fire Richter is a beast, dude. I love Fire Richter. Will Steve transform into his human body? It's not a human body, dude. He doesn't look like a human at all.
Yeah, it's a weird.
Or was it just
creature.
one time?
You'll see.
Did Ghosty's mask come from Socket Ball? I don't know. Who is Socket Ball?
No.
Oh, is Socket Ball? Socket Ball's the guy who makes the the custom molds of masks, right?
No, it did not. My version is spray painted, but I do have a Socket Ball orange mask that I bought afterwards in case I lose this one.
Yeah. Oh, and it's confirmed the gauntlet doesn't work outside of its own universe. Like Thatch said, Camilio has a gauntlet that does work in other universes, so.
The idea is that, I mean, there's infinite universes, which means there's probably a universe that exists where that version of the Infinity Gauntlet does, in fact, work outside of the universe.
Yeah. Looks like Richter now has a car. Ha ha ha. Is there a polar opposite? What?
Someone says, is there a polar opposite to the Cataclysm? No. So does Richter officially have his own agenda now that the Cataclysm trashed him? I would argue that he trashed the Cataclysm. He was like, not anymore. She's like, Harold. He's like, not anymore. But yeah, he definitely has his own agenda. The guy has got his own ideas of what he's doing. He's got to figure out his own purpose.
Richter almost said a bad word in the episode.
Almost said a bad word.
He really did.
But tons of characters almost say bad words in FotM.
Yes, Prob did in episode 4.
Yeah. They always just get coincidentally cut off.
Yep.
Because the stones are made for one dimension, they were created in the gauntlet, but would work, but not the stones. Again, we just said that there's probably a dimension where the gauntlet works and the stones outside of that universe.
Yeah, I mean, there's infinite variables.
Yeah. So was the
so
Cataclysm
stuck in a negative zone until FotM 4 through 6? We don't know. I don't even know. It might have gone out beforehand. It might have.
Well, I mean, the Cataclysm was shown in FotM 5, so.
Yeah, well, he said. Yeah, well, he was showing. Yeah, but before
Oh, yeah,
that.
until then, yeah. Have you played Resident Evil 7?
Nope.
And how would Camila react to it?
Probably would get Ghosty to play because she probably likes those kind of games.
She'd probably freaking love it, dude. She'd love shooting the crap out of zombies, I'm sure.
She likes horror stuff, so probably.
Yeah. Bailey Larson, just stop with that thought process. I'm just talking about the main Marvel comic ones, not the one Camila used. Yeah, well, we know about that little
Yeah. Oh,
caveat.
yeah. Well, obviously the Marvel comic ones show different stuff going down.
What was the first scene you filmed for the episode? What was the first scene you filmed for the episode? Mr. Leglover 55 asked.
Brutaka going and driving the RC, driving Daisy.
Nice.
That was the first thing I filmed.
You tell them last year too, where you put at the end of the 1 year anniversary video.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How many universes has Camilio visited in total?
Oh, I don't know, man. A lot. Probably hundreds.
Will you make more holiday specials?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
What was your favorite part of FotM 6? Mine was when Gio told Camilio that he died. You just listed your favorite parts a bit ago, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite part was probably... There's so many great parts. One of the standout moments for me was... Well, I've got the two. The Camilio versus Cataclysm fight, just the whole thing, because it's all awesome. And when Richter and Steve go to fight the Cataclysm.
Yeah.
Same here, but the Ben 10 moment and at the end with Prague, those made me. I was really flipping out watching that. I gotta take this real quick.
Oh boy. So we know how to beat the Cataclysm now. Just get some more gadgets that can reflect its attacks. Well, that seems like it's easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the Hapori, who would be the most likely person to help Camilio against some interdimensional bounty hunters?
I would say. Well, the only one who can travel other dimensions is Rangus, so probably him.
Probably Rangus, yeah. But I don't think Camilio would need help with something like that.
Yeah, probably not.
Is there going to be a Super Camilio with Chaos Emeralds from Sonic? No.
Nope.
Boy, get the Super Dragon Balls. No. You guys need to understand Thatch does not like anime or like Dragon Ball or anything like that, so he's not really gonna reference anything like that, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm just not not that kind of a guy.
Yeah. Lori Kennedy asked, can you make more mock reviews? Are you talking to me or are you talking to Thatch? Yeah, that's it so far. Do you wanna explain the time travel thing real quick while we're waiting for questions?
Yeah, sure, I can. Hold on, I'm warping to this planet right now.
Okay.
I'm playing a video game.
Oh, okay. What are you playing?
No Man's Sky just got an update that made it way better than it was, so it was on sale for $30, so I was like, why the hell not?
Nice.
So I got
so he's asking you, would you make more mock reviews?
I'm making more mock. I am going to make a lot more mock Let's Builds. I will talk about. Well, can you ever get Excalibur? I was going to have him get Excalibur in the script, but I couldn't find an Excalibur model that wasn't from an anime. So I would only want to use a version of Excalibur I'm familiar with. So I just couldn't find one.
Yeah, I mean Excalibur is like a famous sword, but it's not really heavily featured in anything.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so I'm going to explain the time travel. So I've got this whole thing typed up about it. So the whole idea
Otto the Taco,
So,
hang on.
Well, yeah, he says, if you go back and fix a mistake, they never go back in time to fix. Well, yeah, so you never have to go back in time in the first place to get rid of it, which means it never happened, which means everything's A-okay.
Yeah.
It would be like, all right, we're good. I mean, it never happened in the first place. There's no reason to go back in time. So, yeah, it's pretty chill. It's a lot less complicated than you think. Catch which one is the best place. Okay. Okay, so the time travel. So Cult Shenanigans is a buddy cop story. That's what Cult Shenanigans is supposed to be. It's about Prof and Pyrrhic teaming up, and it's meant to be my own version of a buddy cop storyline. And I really could have done that a lot better, and I'm really not proud of the way that arc turned out. But when I went into FotM, the Tomorrow War, I wanted to make a war and time travel story because I had a distinct message I wanted to get across. So from the get-go, from 3.5, I was planning to do the whole time travel thing. And if you watch Ending at 3.5, it says, "Time is on my side." That's a song that plays because I was hinting towards the time travel. Not to mention, the whole reason the time mineral is introduced in FotM 4 is so that they can go back in time. People seem to miss that. That I introduced the time mineral just so that they could go back in time. That's the whole point of that whole storyline. But the message I wanted to get across in FotM 6 was a more meaningful one than FotM 3 or anything like that. And what happens is, the reason it's called the Tomorrow War is because the war is always going to happen tomorrow because of what Pyrrhic and Butaka did in the present to fix what happened in the past. And so the message of the arc is that we can save the future by taking actions in the present to resolve the mistakes of the past. That's the whole message of the arc. It's got a lot of commentary on the world today. If you even look at Camille's backstory, you can kind of see some of the things I'm getting at with that. And that's the whole message of the arc. So I wanted to tie that together with all of the characters' stories. So all of their stories are all about dealing with time. So Camille was dealing with resonating with his past, which it's not clear, but the idea is that when he says he's got all these friends and everything in his vision, the idea is that that's him overcoming the "you're out of your habitat" thing. He's overcome that now. He's never gonna. Next time somebody says you're out of your habitat, it's not gonna bother him because he's, as a character and as a person, he's grown past that because he doesn't have a habitat. He's got his family, and so that's all about Camille dealing with his past. Butaka is dealing with the threat of the future, and that's why he's talking to Brutto, because he wants to stop things before they happen by getting word from Brutto about that. What he saw in the pit with the Wanderer scared him, and so he wants to go and try and get answers to see how he can prevent all this stuff from happening. And Pyrrhic is the only one trying to actually deal with what's happening right now, which is the Tomorrow War, so he's dealing with the present. And all these character stories collide with the simple idea of fixing and coming to terms with the past. All of them do that. And that is why they go back in time, because that is the end of all of their character arcs. That is the thematic ending of it. I wanted you to time travel since the start. Tomorrow War is a time travel story from the get-go. It always has been. In Living Night, I just spoiled the title of the next arc. The next arc, I haven't officially.
You didn't say it. You didn't say it fully. So just stop.
Yeah. But the next arc is going to be all about its own message, and it's going to be its own type of story. And this is how FotM works. These arcs are my own. They're my own play up on these genres. And a war movie works so well with a time travel movie because war is all about mistakes from the past hurting us in the present. And that works beautifully with a time travel story.
Yeah.
And that is why time travel happens. That's why they do it. And that's why they remember it, because I didn't want it to be like it never happened. I mean, it happened. These characters were capable of doing what they did, which is pretty horrifying. That is never going to leave Tahu. I mean, if you knew that freaking you would murder somebody, that you were capable of doing that, that would really mess with you. That is going to mess with Tahu a lot. The characters, it's going to leave a huge impact. And there's this argument being made like, oh, well, now you don't need to watch the previous episodes of I guess if you don't want to know how Camilio met Prof, or how Camilio met Renzo, or how Camilio met Aferia, or why they had to go back in time in the first place, then you can skip them.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be pretty confused if you watch the next episode. Just skipping this whole arc, you're going to not know who this Prof guy is, who this Aferia person is. And again, everyone remembers what happened. It's very purposefully done. The entire FotM is a character-driven story. So everything in this arc is meant and written around the characters and their journeys. So there we go. That's time travel explained.
And I want to clarify something with Otto the Taco. He said, so wouldn't it still happen? If you're going back in time to stop something from happening and you succeed in stopping that, then it wouldn't happen, and then that timeline would progress without that thing happening. And the idea is that if you, in episode 6, that if you stop one bad thing from happening, something else takes its place with, like, Spectrum.
So that's, so if you look, so Roram, and this is pretty, I'm surprised people haven't been paying attention to this, it's kind of subtle, but Roram set up Tahu and Strack to kill each other. You know? He set up that whole thing. He sold them the weapons to kill each other. So we're not going to go back in time and stop that. So they foiled his plan. So he needs to come back with Spectrum to still do what they need to do. So then time traveling just created a whole new issue. I mean, it directly affected Spectrum's plan. And that is what Pyrrhic brings that up. That's Pyrrhic's main theory, is that, you know, because again, we're talking immediate reaction to go to after Spectrum is we need to go back in time again.
Yeah.
And Pyrrhic's like, we do that, we're just going to cause a whole other problem. The more we go back in time, the worse and worse problems are going to cause to happen again. So yeah.
Thatch, will Camilio pass on the Paladin role at the end?
I think.
And does the Paladin need to die for the next one to be made?
No.
Let me see. What else? There was another question somewhere. When will we see the new Halloween and Christmas Ancients?
I want to show off new Halloween presentations, but I'm not sure if I'll ever get the chance to do that.
Yeah, because, I mean, like you said, he's not sure about if he wants to do specials anymore.
Yeah. How many of those chests did you buy? I've got about, like, I had 6. I gave Kasai 1, and then I destroyed this other one.
Yeah, so you've got, what, 4 now?
4, yeah.
And one of them's on his back. One of them's on his chest, so you've only got 2 extra.
Mm-hmm.
Is Roach...
That was nice to get out. That was nice to... I've been waiting literally a year to talk about the themes of tomorrow, and finally I'm able to.
Is Roach going to show up in FotM at any point?
I don't know. There's no plans as of yet, but maybe.
There were at one point, but those got scrapped because the entire structure of FotM got changed around, so... You should do interdimensional bounty hunters that go around and kill people, including humans.
No, I don't want to make travel something that anybody can do. I want it to be limited to a very select few.
Yeah, it's got to be something like very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And even things with like the Olmec can only travel to other Bionicle universes.
We've established the rule that the Olmec only has the ability to travel to other Bionicle universes, which is why in the Bionicle universe you only ever see it travel to other Bionicle universes.
Yeah.
Because it's locked down.
And so I imagine like with there's dimensional travel in Marvel Comics and DC Comics, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And they only travel to alternate versions of their own universe, so it's the same thing.
Probably, yeah.
There's a lot of stuff they did with, like, what if, like, Bruce Wayne's family was never killed or anything like that.
Yeah.
You should do an okay, so Thatch, how many of those chests, still hoping for that Western arc? Yeah, me too, man. I hope eventually I'm able to do a Western something.
Yeah.
Thatch, your thoughts on the new Godzilla, Monster Zero Height? I love the Godzilla 2014. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm not super hyped because I'm not like a Godzilla fanboy. But I obviously like Godzilla. I mean, I put him in FotM. So I'm looking forward to it. That people explain way better than me. Explain what way better?
He's talking about the
Renzo,
light system.
The light system. How does it work? I don't know, man. They asked us that, Renzo. We told them to ask you.
Yeah. Renzo made the light system. He's got all the explanations in Biorama, so just go watch Biorama if you want to know.
Go watch Biorama. It'll be explained in FotM at some point because I don't want to have to rely on you seeing something to understand a part of FotM. So it'll be explained somewhat at some point, but right now, I mean, I don't have the time, and I haven't even worked out all the specifics of it yet.
Renzo said, "Don't do that." Renzo, shut up.
You should absolutely watch Biorama. The first couple episodes are rough, but once you can get to season 2 and stuff, it's great.
Yeah. And if you don't want to explain it, bro, then how else are they gonna freaking know? Because we definitely don't want to explain it because it's your thing.
It's in Biorama, the movie, and some other episodes. I can go and search for it. But I have a whole paper on the light system, also the eye stalks too. How to set. Nah, it's a little spoilery, but it's out there, the explanation, and I'll do research on it.
Yeah. Will there be a time Camilio talks to a human instead of Bionicle-ish character? No.
I'm sure he already has.
I don't think we'll ever see one, because that'd be freaking weird.
Yeah, I mean, if I ever did show a human, it would be in like a suit or something.
Yeah.
Take a side.
What's up?
Stop motion human puppets look gross.
You know why, check main chat why Renzo never answered.
Because he's a freaking loser, that's what.
Yeah, it's probably my fault being a loser, too.
Everyone's a loser.
Good for you, loser. That's right, you're not.
Oh man, this is a lot is getting out there. Will there be
I'm sorry I'm quiet, guys. So it's
why
not.
is Camillo so small? Because he's 15.
He said like the previous armor was like it was way too big for him, so he freaking that fits him.
Yeah, he's 15, dude. 15.
He made that.
Some of them are tall, but some of them are short. The majority of them are short.
He made that new version in the first place is because of you thought it was like he looks like he's supposed to be 15, and if that's not. You know,
yeah, he didn't look 15 at all, so I was like, I'm gonna make him skinny boy. Plus, I'm not exactly the tallest, and I'm pretty small, so.
Yeah, why is Camilio so small? So if you're talking about the house verse, he adapts to the size that he needs to be for the mission, right? So he could be a human-sized person, but he doesn't need to be because that doesn't fit the mission that he's on. But outside the house verse, he is like full size, you know.
Yeah, ideally he's about 5'7".
Yeah.
You got a great idea though from FotM 6, also the RC car.
Yeah.
Like why did the toy car grow in size? It didn't grow in size. It's prop is like 6'1", and the toy car is like 2 feet long, like a foot long. So yeah, that's why.
Yeah, no, the Prof is like a full-size alien being. He's not a toy.
He's about 6'1". Yeah, he would be much bigger than the little RC car. But obviously, if we're talking Imperial car, like 12 inches tall. The dog is like 18 inches tall. So yeah. Has Camillo been put out since he was 6? He's 16. Yes, he's been put out since he was 6 years old. Since he was 5 years old, actually.
Yeah.
He's 15.
He's 15 in FotM 6.
Keep in mind, Camillo was a robot, so he was probably much more smart, and much more adept than your average 5-year-old because he's a genetically engineered being. I'm sure they made him very capable. He's probably a little bit shorter though. But yeah.
So if he went into that universe, he would be near human size. Well, again, outside of any toy-related universe, he's like 5'7", you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's like 5 feet 7 inches tall. He's like a normal person. Yep. He's not in the toy universes where he needs to deal with toys. He's like toy size.
Yep. The Camillo I'm making is a little larger because my image. Yeah, that's totally cool, man. Bonnie's making one too, and it's probably gonna be larger. I mean, totally make him larger. He's really small. He's a short dude.
Yeah.
Also, Anaru, thank you for making a Camillo. I cannot wait to see that.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, Naru's got some pretty sweet stuff.
I love he did one where he made like this really cool like orange. Hold on, let me check out his channel. I love this mock that he made. It was really neat. It looks like a crazy cool like Space Force character. Where is it? Yeah, it's the dude you took the Hyrox head, spray painted orange, and put it on. It looks so cool. That was really creative and unique. I love that.
Otto said, what heroes did you draw inspiration from for Camilio besides the obvious? Well, the obvious being Star-Lord.
The obvious being Star-Lord and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But aside from them, not many. I guess mainly just inspired by myself. I can't think of too many other heroes. Where did Camillo get his guns? There's a paladin, I'm sure, picked him up one time.
No, Thatch, it's Wardos.
Where does Camillo get fine weapons?
Yeah, he just probably takes them from wherever. Dang, hour and 19 minutes so far for this stream. Jeez.
It's crazy.
Only been a few lulls here and there between comments or between questions. Did Ben 10 inspire the watch? The watch.
Of course it did. Yes.
Did we miss any comments? No, didn't miss anything. Toa Vindex. Kasai, later on Instagram, I'm going to send a picture of my self-mock, aka an accidental Chameleon clone. Cool. There's been a lot of Chameleon clones. There was a point in time where there was like a Chameleon clone every other day that we saw.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
It was ridiculous. There's still a lot of mocks that we see now and then that take ideas from Chameleon.
Mhm. I remember those days, Renzo.
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot of Kasai and Chameleon ripoffs, yeah. Thankfully, your boy Kasai is is just a little more generic, so.
Yeah, a lot of Kasai and Chameleon ripoffs.
They are definitely a pair. These two.
Mhm. Always been.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I found an animal, dude. I found a weird alien animal, dude. What the frick? Ugh. Who's got a baby? That's cute.
Instagram is a breeding ground for Hapori clones. So is Biotope, dude. Friggin', they're all over the place. Yeah. Why is Chameleon named Chameleon? Because he can shapeshift he can change to look like different things like a chameleon. Where's my Renzo ripoffs? You mean Liwa ripoffs?
Oh my god.
Because literally any Renzo ripoffs would just look more like Liwa. Winky sad face.
Rolling back in the day when Gasai started bringing Civil War. Oh no. You made it rough. There's emojis for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm sorry. Hey, Kasai, I could probably donate to you if I could.
Donate to me? What?
Yeah, they had like a little dollar sign in here. $99. Yes, please.
Yes, please, my boy.
I got a little buddy.
That's
cute.
Yay, Dr. Rezon got severely burned.
English, please.
Yeah, seriously. Hey, Aiden, come translate this.
What? Okay.
Let's bring in the translator. Let's figure this out.
He said, Yay, Dr. Rezon got severely burned.
Yay, Dr. Rezon got severely burned. It means, you roasted him too much.
He got severely burned?
No, he got severe burned.
Here's another one, Brayden. Kasai is I rip off of Tahu. I can translate that as I'm stupid. Kasai's rip off of Tahu. How can you not spell Tahu correctly? Just freaking fix the freaking U at the end. You just put an A. Hi, Thatch. I'm almost done with my stop motion. I have 10 of 13 scenes done. Now I need to finish and do all the editing. All right, good luck, man.
Let me
Any
see.
music you'd like me to use as theme song that won't get me flagged for copyright? Yes. There's this amazing song called On Lap that you should use. On Lap the Awakening. On Lap the Awakening.
Friggin'
Probably won't get you copyrighted.
I can hook you up with a ton of royalty-free music, Anaru. Friggin' every
rock songs.
Every song in Chronicles of Darkness since episode 6 is royalty-free.
Renzo said it's edgy.
Renzo's edgy.
I like some of the songs. And tips for stop motion filmmaking. Practice. You're not going to get good unless you practice. It takes a very long time to get good. Gonna practice.
What is your favorite song, if you have any? My favorite song, I'm just going to interrupt you, Thatch, because you're going to talk for an hour. My favorite song is probably Proof by Paramore.
Oh! Sorry.
My favorite song is probably Nights of Sidonia or I can't even think of. There's like a million of them that I like.
Anaru, I don't have your do you have Skype or something like that? Because then I could contact you. I'll show you at Brick Fair, and I'll send you the trailer when I get that done. Let me know what you think when you get the link. Okay. Oh, Nether is back. He just went to his other channel. Luwa is my fav tit toia.
Yep.
You're the man. Gosh, I swear at this point they're just trying to type awfully. Alright, PMs are disappearing off YouTube. They pretty much disappeared a long time ago. I mean, they're still there, but they're very hard to access. What's your favorite favorite story arc in anything ever?
Oh, that's hard.
Dude, I don't even know.
It's like anything ever is like, are you including? Yeah, I'm thinking like books, television, like.
Yeah, that's too wide of a question.
Yeah, if you selected television, I think I'll give you an easier answer. Definitely books.
Penance, my guy.
Oh yeah.
Get enough of those penance.
I'm on Discord, so there's that Anaru_boy hashtag 3076. Can I copy that? No, I can't. Can't copy it. Oh well, I'll just have to come back to that. But yeah, I'll
Take a screenshot of it. Because they might delete the chat when the video is done.
No, they do like a live chat replay when you rewatch the live stream.
Yeah, they do that. They do that now.
I didn't know that. All right.
Yeah, you watch a live stream and you can watch the chat.
Well, I'm getting shot by freaking laser dudes. Whoa, who the frick are you, buddy boy?
Alright, guys, Thatch is gonna have to leave the stream because he's getting shot with lasers.
Yep. Thatch is Camilio. He's being shot by interdimensional lawbreakers right now.
I'm being shot by freaking spacemen, dude. Freaking grandma is shooting me.
Get off my back, Grandma.
His grandma never liked him very much.
How do you get emotes?
In what?
In No Man's Sky.
I have no idea, bro. I haven't played No Man's Sky in like a year. Have you seen Isle of Dogs and how would Camilio... Why do you care about Camilio reacting to things so much?
I have seen Isle of Dogs, and it's absolutely amazing. It's honestly just fantastic.
Friggin' Bailey just keeps asking, how would Camilio react to this, or this, or that, or this?
Can somebody look up how to do emotes in the game? Okay. You know what? I'll do it.
Okay, you do it then.
That's a punch. Hold on a sec. How to emote in No Man's Sky. I found somebody. Cool, you can actually find people now. I can't believe that crazy version.
I gotta think about what I
How would Camilio react to this stream? He'd probably want to kill himself.
He's like, see ya. Alright, Rick, out of time.
Have you seen Live and Why Do You Hate It? What are you talking about?
Jesus, man. Hey, Thatch.
What's up?
Is there one thing in this episode so far that no one has touched upon in any questions you've been answered? on his stream and buy alone.
I don't know. I'm being shot by lasers. I'm out of here. See you, dude. It was cool seeing you. I gotta go. Okay. Hold on a sec. I mean, I'm freaking Renzoing around the universe right now, and I found this dude. He started laser beaming me.
The Renzo. There's the Renzo, and then the size where you chop someone's arm off or a body, part of their body.
Still flying around because I don't know how to talk to people because I'm socially awkward. And No Man's Sky, that is. Okay. So what are the questions?
Is there anything that in FotM 6, out of all the questions being asked so far, mainly on the stream, has not really been touched upon from the episode that
any questions that have not been touched upon?
Yes.
Nobody's been asked about Camille's backstory, but there isn't really much. It's kind of vague, and I won't be able to answer anything about it. Nobody's noticed the hint towards Ghosty at the end when Prop.
I mean, I noticed that. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, but no one's talked about it on a call or anything. No one's been like, where Prop's like, hey, don't fall in love with the first pretty girl you meet. Oh my God, spaceships.
We do have one question though. How much of FotM 6 does Camilo remember?
All of it.
All of it. Okay. That's
I
what I
would
was
say
thinking.
sometimes when you have like a mention like that, I'm like, I know what you're talking about. I just
that's so cool.
no.
Does Camilo have a Power Ranger morpher as one of his relics?
Oh, you're gonna get an answer inside.
Nope, nothing. That's just died.
Freaking whatever he is.
No Man's Sky.
I heard that game was okay.
It got an update recently that fixed most of the problems.
Yeah, the game frickin' sucked balls when it was released because they literally lied. They lied about everything that was supposed to be in the game, and none of it was in the game.
What, No Man's Sky?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's misleading and disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was on sale. It was half off. So I was like, okay, well, they fixed something. It's on sale, so why not?
What do you think of the Project Toa series?
It's amazing.
Is Camilo's home destroyed? Well, I mean, you literally see the planet get wrecked in like 15 different ways.
It's probably not doing too hot, no.
No. Flooding, nukes, friggin' whatever the heck else was happening.
What do you mean? It looked really cool. It looked like Christmas.
Yeah, because nuclear warfare is Christmas.
For Kim Jong-un.
Jesus.
Why doesn't the Cataclysm attack Camilo when he talking to his watch? Because the Cataclysm has respect.
Yeah.
I don't get why people say their plans out loud. Like, they were saying everything they're going to do to the Cataclysm while it's like 5 feet away from them.
Because they were figuring it out. They had to communicate to each other to formulate a plan.
Friggin' Camilo's not a telepath.
Hey, you never know. Maybe that's one of his chameleon powers.
Is Camilo from a post-apocalyptic Earth? Go watch the friggin' flashback scenes and you tell me. Will the Cataclysm constantly change its appearance?
Yes.
Appearance?
Yeah.
I don't know what an appearance is, but if we appearance, it'll change if it needs to.
Mm-hmm.
Just got hit by a car.
You're dead. Congratulations.
I'm not though, because I'm on creative mode, so I'm invincible.
Wait, is he playing a game?
He's playing No Man's Sky.
Oh, wait, you just gotta buy what car?
There's cars in No Man's Sky.
Well, there's like a hover thing.
Yeah, hover car, spaceship, whatever.
Wow.
Wow.
Have you gone to the center of the universe yet to go back to the outside of it?
No.
Oh, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's not streamlined.
I think we're pretty much done with all the questions, though. I think we covered everything.
Yeah. There's like no more questions, so we got a ton in the beginning. So if you have any questions or anything, ask them. I can't say anything more about it. Anything about episode 7 really. But if you have questions to ask, because we're going to be ending soon.
Bailey asked, so what's with Camilo's heart? Is it organic?
It looks like it's made out of crystal or something.
Yeah. It definitely doesn't look like a human heart, that's for sure.
Welcome to No Man's Sky. Yeah. Renzo, freaking, we love No Man's Sky 'cause it's just Renzo, but a game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so if you guys have any last minute questions, go ahead and ask. What do you use to edit, Thatch?
Adobe,
Say that one more time, you cut out.
Adobe programs like Premiere and After Effects.
It's really good. So getting used to it. There's a lot to it. It's great.
Aiden has a question.
Here we go.
Okay, so when the Cataclysm squeezed his heart, what was his like innards made out of?
You mean the white stuff?
Yeah.
It was Elmer's glue.
No, like the part that was the physical parts
like
of it.
Wires and techno pieces?
Wires and weird stuff.
That
I
answered my
was,
question.
Thatch, I was thinking of Alien a little bit with it's kind of,
Kinda.
yeah, a little bit.
I always draw a comparison with Vision from the Marvel movies.
I think Okoto's talking about the blood, more like.
Yeah.
Why is Chameleon's blood such oil white? Why is your blood red?
Yeah.
Oh.
Any more roles that you have for me planned? Otto asked.
Yes, many.
Favorite sword or weapon?
Favorite sword or weapon? The Omnitrix, my
Yep.
guy.
Seems like it's pretty much it, though. I think we should probably wrap up.
Yeah.
I'm taking a touch.
What the heck was that? Alright, well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, Thatch and Okoto, for joining me on this stream. Obviously, this was about FotM, so, Thatch kind of had to be here.
Yep.
But, yeah. Who had the most lines in FotM 6? Probably Thatch.
Yeah, I did.
Because Thatch voiced, like, a ton of characters.
Too many.
I could really talk all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is red because your blood cells, like cells as in selling something, they're red.
Yeah, maybe Chameleon's blood cells are white.
Yeah. Chameleo's blood sells white stuff.
Blood cells, yeah. White cells Elmer's glue, dude.
Yeah. He's got an Elmer's glue dealership going on in his body. Wow. Sometimes I think I voice too many characters, but I'm fine with what I have. Nah, I think you got a pretty good balance going on, Otto.
Yeah, you don't voice more, Spectrum, or any of those guys.
Yeah.
I feel like Otto voiced the most had the most lines. His Chameleon was like half. I mean, he had a lot, and they get first up after Chameleon was gone. It's like.
Well, you gotta also consider all the other characters Thatch voices.
Yeah, and Richard disappears forever. I mean,
Yeah.
like Chameleon was in there from the beginning, and he goes away for like 30 seconds, and
Richter doesn't really
like,
say that much, even when he's in like that fight or anything like that.
Yeah, I was thinking more of Chakos and Bruttle, but I know it's a Thatch voice for Spectrum. It's characters.
Yeah, Thatch voice is like way more characters. So.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you everybody so much for watching. Hope we answered most of your questions. And yeah, thank you guys for joining me. And I'm glad I was able to host this stream for Thatch.
Can we hit 50 million likes?
Shut up.
15 million likes.
But yeah, so hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.